welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Michelle Crisafulli. I am a first grade teacher of 17 years in Central Florida. In today's video, I am going to show you how to use a great technology tool that you can use with your students virtually, or that you can use with your students if you have face-to-face. Something I discovered a couple weekends ago, and it's been working fantastically in my class, so I wanted to share. Hey friends, so this is called Smart Learning Suite. I discovered this a couple weeks ago when I was trying to create decodable books for my students that they could interact with. Learning A to Z has the student side if your district pays for that, and that's what I've been using for the last couple years. But this year they decided to cut that student side out so the teacher can still display the books and do things with them, but we can't send it out to the students and have them interact with them on their devices, which I miss so much. I'm hoping that we get that back, but for now, I was searching for something. This takes a little bit of work, but it's a great alternative if you need decodable books and you don't want to make copies, because those are a pain in the neck to print off and then copy and make sure they're front and back and then put the books together and this and that. This is a great alternative if you want to do 1 week where you have the paper copy, 1 week where you do this version. So this actually is part of our Google suite that we have paid for by our district. But I did find out that you can get access to this, and you might already have access to it. This might be something you just need to check in if you're a Google school. But you can get access to it for 45 days for free. So if you wanted to test it out, I don't know how much it is after the 45 days, but I do know that 45 days is free. So I thought I would sign up myself and go through the whole process, just like if I didn't have access to it. So I just typed in hellosmart.com because that was the website that I knew of. I think it's actually suite.smarttech-product.com. But then I go to Are You a Teacher up here in this part. So I think it's suite.smarttech.com. That's the actual website. And then I go to teacher sign in. Actually, I think it says sign up for a free trial. Let me go back. Sign up for a free trial. Sign up with Google. And then I will click on my iHeart Primary. And then my display name, I'm just going to put Mrs. C. And then when it brings you in, it'll pop up a message about 45 days, I think is what it said. Yeah. We hope you enjoy your 45-day trial of Smart Learning Suite online. So I just click Start My Trial. And then it gives you a tour of the products. I'm going to X out of that. You can go in and watch that on your own. There are so many different activities. I was talking about this today. I was actually trying to record today at school, and I just couldn't. What happened? Well, that's weird. Kicked me out. So I was trying to record today at school, and I just couldn't get it to flow correctly. I couldn't ever get like a decent conversation started because I kept getting interrupted. So I thought I'll just do a video. I'm going to use this with my students face to face. But it looks like we may be going back to virtual, back and forth to virtual. I don't know what the plan is. I want to be prepared in case we do have to go back to virtual. So you can absolutely use this virtually or face-to-face with your students. It works both ways. And I will show you the student side of it in just one moment. So let's set it up. So here is the page when you open it up. It gives you some examples. It gives you some activities. And it also gives you some videos if you want some more ideas. So tons of stuff. I didn't even know it did all of what it does, and I'm sure there's so much more that it does that I don't even use it for. But I wanted to show you how I have been using it. So this is my first page. I'm going to go to Add Activities right there on the top. Come on. And then it says start with your lesson. We're going to import a resource. Now, what I told you I used it for was decodable books. Well, where did I get those decodable books? I got them from our reading series that go with the vowels that we're doing for the week. This week we're doing I. So I'm going to pull up my reading series. These are our online access for our reading series. I'm going to go up here to resources. I just need to go down to the decodable books. I don't know what your online access looks like for your reading series. If you have journeys, it's probably the very same way. I'm just going to go to decodable readers. Now, I don't use the journeys other books that often, but it's kind of a hit and miss. So I'm going to go to online ebook. This is very important. You don't want to go to downloadable PDF. You want to go to online ebook. I wanted it in color personally, so I wanted to do online ebook. I'm going to go ahead and set mine up for next week. Next week we're doing short O. So you can see this was our book from today that we did. I'm going to go to, let's do, I think it's this one, Max, Fox, and Lawn Ox. So I just found the book that I wanted in the table of contents. This is on page 63, and it goes to page 68. So I'm going to come down here to more. I'm going to print. I'm going to print certain pages, 63 to 68. I'm going to click OK, and for me, it pulls up my printer selection. Well, I don't want to print. I want to come down here to save as a PDF, right there. Or you can print to PDF if you have that capabilities. So mine's going to go in my folder, Decodable Readers. This was Lawn Ox, I think, right? So it's going to go to that same Decodable Reader folder, and it's going to only print those few pages. So now that that's there, I can go back to the lesson, and I'm going to import resource. And I'm going to go to my Decodable Readers file. I'm going to click on Lawn Ox, and I think I did it correctly. If it cut off, I may have to go in and redo that because it prints it a certain direction automatically. So let's see if I did that correctly. So now it's putting each one of the pages of the book in there as a separate slide, almost like a Google slide, but an interactive one. Okay, so it has that one in there. There's that one. Okay, but they can't interact with this yet. So I want to come down here and convert it to an activity. Now the reason they can't interact with it is because it goes in as a PDF, and you can see the website page right here. I don't want that. I want to convert it to an activity, and I'm going to make it an individual activity. And so you have to click on each slide to do that. Now it goes away, but it's still there, I promise. And I don't want it to be collaborative. The other option is a collaborative, so that means whatever they're marking on, all the students are seeing it marking on. And so if Johnny marks on the page and he highlights it, then that's going to show up on everybody's, and I wanted them to do it their own self. So I've said an individual activity. So that's it, 6 pages. And I'm going to just come up here and I'm going to say finish editing. So now it's going to put it in my Smart Learning Suite. Now here's the kicker. This is your class ID. So any lessons that you do, so you could load this thing up. I could put in 50 lessons on here. The students every single time are going to go to hellosmart.com. So you can send that to them or have them pull it up, or you could provide a link to this. So copy and paste the link and put that in. We're using Canvas, so I just have the picture of the Smart Learning Suite. They click on that picture, it pulls up the website, and then they, when it pulls it up, I need to go to student version. Sorry. Okay, so let me go back so you can see that again. So when my kids pull it pulls it up automatically with their Google account that they have, but I don't think that matters. You just go to class ID. So hellosmart.com, it should pull up class ID. That's where the, It signed me out. Sorry. It's having trouble because I'm trying to do this on two different tabs instead of two different devices. I apologize. So there's my class ID, 941807. So when the student signs in with that class ID, it pops it up on your screen that you have somebody that's connected. It won't matter for them. They can sign in all day long. If you haven't started the lesson, then it's not going to matter. So then if I go to start, I can click on student progress, and all of my students that have entered the class. So there's the hellosmart.com. This is your class code, waiting for students to connect. Okay. So all the students that have connected. So like I had my 18 kiddos connect today. And as they were doing what I asked them to do, I would read the story. So I would read it, and they on their page had the little pens, and I taught them how to do the highlighter, and they highlighted the short I words in ours that we had. So let's say that we were looking for short O, so they would highlight this word. After they click on their side, it said there's a little done button on the student side. They click done. I can see their progress, so I can see everything that they've done. It gives me a check mark up next to their name up here in this little spot. And then, so I can click on it and I can see and have somebody share, hey, you know, which word did you find? Which word did you find? And we can talk about it. We read the book together, and then I switch the pages. They don't get to turn the pages themselves. I switch it. So once I switch it over here in this corner, it goes to the next page of the book. Okay. So again, I pulled up the teacher handout, and then I would read it. We would talk about it. They would use their tools, highlight it or circle it, and then we would go to the next one. And I will show you the one that we did here in a second. I can show that to you here in a second. But that's what it looks like. So on their side, they're seeing the book, but they can't see the pages until you switch it. So you control it all, and you, like I waited for each one of my students up here to get the check mark, and then I would pull it up and see what they were doing and talk about it, and it was fantastic. So I could see how you could add lots of different things to it. When you were done, you just click exit or end lesson. So like if I'm in it, you can go over here. You can have it be student paced if you wanted to. Which means they can go at their own pace. You don't control it. But I liked doing that because I was with them and I wanted to have those discussions, those powerful discussions. If you trained your students how to do this and you are virtual, I would definitely click the student pace. If they know how to go in and do the activity, if you tell them, you know, you guys, you're highlighting all of the words that have the short O sound, or you're looking for words that have a certain blend, then you can click student pace and they can control this. You would just probably want to train them on that first. But yeah, that's it. Easy peasy. In my opinion, it was super easy. And then when you went to the end, when I click on the little house, it asks me to end, but probably because I don't have any students in there and that have signed on, that's why it didn't do that. So I'm going to show you one more time. I'm going to sign in with my iPad so you can see, and then I'll show you the iPad side as well. Okay, so I'm on page 1. I'm going to connect. I'm going to make sure that my students are connected. And then on their iPad, they click Start. So I'll put that back down. Student progress. There I am. So, and on my screen, what I see, what I see on my screen is the book. So I see the teacher handout. And then let's say I wanted to go in and highlight all of well, I can't turn the pages because I'm not the teacher. So there I am. I completed it. If I wanted to see what my student did, I click on their name and there it is. And so I can totally see having some powerful discussions over it. Once you as a teacher click the next one, then they go to the next handout. I press the start button on my next one, and I can do the very same thing. And what my kids were doing this today, they were having so much fun doing it. Okay, so there I go. And if I pulled up me, there's what I chose. Okay, so easy peasy. Now if I go to the home screen, it's kicking me out. Okay, and it says, hey, your lesson's over. Okay, so I thought that was fantastic. You can click on we call these the skinny snowmen, and share the link so they could go to it directly. Get a student access link, and you can share it with other teachers. So if you create it and your job is to create those things for your team, then you can share this. So I wanted to show you what mine looked like from today so that you could see some of it. So in order to keep my students' privacy, I'm going to film that from my phone instead of screen share it. And then I wanted to show you also some other ideas that I had for using this within, virtual learning. So let me kick off my thing here, and I'm going to switch over to my phone. Okay, so this was the book that we did today. As I told you, this is part of our Google, so I actually have this in my Google Drive right there. In our Google Drive, if I click New and I go down here to More, it is down towards the bottom. So it's already included with all of our other apps. So I thought that was fantastic for our district to have that on there. So this was the book that I did today. I just double clicked on it, and I created it within Google. So my side looks a little bit different than what I just showed you, but like I said, I wanted to show you if you didn't have access to it. I'm gonna click Open now. It's gonna go to that very same type of page that I was just showing you. Thinking, it's thinking, it's thinking. And hello, there's my student progress. So I'm on handout 1. I'm gonna put you down for a second so I don't, I'm careful here. And then here's my teacher handout. So this was the handout that we did. This was the example I gave them. We went through it together. And then I will go ahead and pull up what my students did. So there's one of my students. So I just clicked on this little guy, and he got Lil, Big, Big, Lil, and Sit for his short I. And then you can scroll very quickly up here in the top corner on this. You can scroll very quickly between each student. This is my little guy. He actually entered himself twice. So this is another one of my little friends, and he circled it with the yellow. This is another one of my little friends, and she highlighted them or circled them, colored them in. This is another one of my little friends. He sort of knew what to do. He was having trouble making the circles, but I can tell that he was trying. He was trying to, and he got close. It looks like he got pretty close. So if I go over here to this side and click the down button, then this is the only thing I don't like. You have to see student progress on each page. So I'm gonna put you down. I'm gonna click on the student's name. There we go. So there we go. And I can go through, and I can real quick just pick a page in the story and go through and see who found the word that we were talking about and who didn't. So I thought this was great. I thought this would be great for lots of different things. So that was that. So I wanted to show you if I wanted to create other things, different things to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back into the version that I have. So Smart Learning Suite. And then what's great or what else I thought I could use this for. So there's often times that we want to have like graphic organizers or conversations with our students. This app, I guess it is, or this website has lots of different activities that are already made. So if I wanted graphic organizers, look at all the concept maps that are already here. Brainstorming webs, and you can make these shareable. So like when one student types in something, it pops up on everybody's. And I think that that's how I would use some of these. And then some of these I thought, well, it'd be great to have these instead of having to scan all these in all the time. So if I'm reading a nonfiction book and I want them to tell me a detail that they learned from the nonfiction book, I can put, I can use the thinking frame, and we can have like different kinds of farms, and they can tell me different details that they they learned from the story in the thinking frame. Or there's two column tables. So tons, and there's so many graphic organizers on here, y'all. Tons and tons and tons and tons of graphic organizers. You can have them sequence, and they can draw a picture if your kiddos aren't writing yet. And see, the great thing about this is if I'm virtually teaching and I'm sitting in front of a computer, I can watch my students complete each page in real time. So they might be at home and they might be completing something on the iPad, but if I say, okay, I want you to go into your decodable book, and I'm going to watch you do the decodable book, and it's on student paced, you can see each page that they're doing. So if you're doing, one of these concept maps, and they're working on brainstorming, and it's all about tigers, and you want them to give you everything that they learn in whatever nonfiction book about tigers, and they're just idea dumping from their head from what they learned in that story. Or maybe you watched a video or did a virtual field trip and you want them to give you information, you will see it as they're doing it. And when they click done, then you can pull up and go, oh, Susie, I love how you talked about where tigers live, and that must have been a great detail you found from the story. So that was one way that I thought about using it, especially virtually. I could totally see using this within the virtual setting. I haven't even explored some of these other things yet, but I mean, y'all, look, manipulatives, base 10 blocks. So they can interact with base 10 blocks. They can interact with coins. They can interact with, and then they even have Euro coins in here, y'all, come on. Clocks, we're not even doing some of this stuff yet. Hundreds chart is what we're on. We're looking at the hundreds chart and counting. We're looking at number lines. So I could totally, I'm gonna click on number line and just see what it's about. I could totally see using this with different lessons like that. Like I said, if you have, if your school or district is a Google district, you may want to check in to see. I had no idea this existed until I was playing around trying to figure out how to get a decodable book to my students. But looky there. So you can have them help you plot numbers. You can copy the number line page. You can add a new page each time, and you can have them help you plot numbers on it. You convert it to an activity. So make it an individual activity. Dude, I mean, that's great. I'm just wondering how this one works. So this is, I'm in preview right now. Maybe you have them draw, and they have to, you say 1, and then you want them to go up. Oops. I don't want that anymore. So you want them to go up. Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe use those to move across the number line. Who knows? I'm gonna have to look into that one because that one looks really great, the number line version. So yeah, I thought that that was a wonderful addition. And look, now it's in my Google Drive. It saved it for me. And I'm not even done with this yet. So let me flip you back around. Okay, so about to laminate. You'll see my mess over here. I thought when I was doing it today, I was super excited about it. I wasn't excited about it at first when I did it virtually a couple weeks ago with my class, because I didn't get that I was controlling the page, and so I didn't explain that to them ahead of time. I didn't understand the program enough. I still don't know very much about it, but I wanted to share what we did with it today. So if you wanted to like start using something like that, I didn't want to hold off until I learned everything about it, because who knows how long that'll be. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope Smart Learning Suite was semi-helpful for you. I hope that you got a few ideas and you got some things that you can go in and do. Tomorrow I am filming, hopefully, my video on setting up for guided reading, because I am done testing. We have done all of the centers. We have explained everything. I am taking a half day off tomorrow, so I figured if I went in and did guided reading setup, that would be really helpful for you. So until then, my friends, I will see you next time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.